Hi everyone. Have you ever wanted the body and chat pile to be in one album that mostly consists of what I can only assume is sexual humiliation? Well, then look no further, as Shame by Meth has you covered on all fronts. This is one of the most eclectic and emotional albums I think I've listened to in quite a while, at least a first listen. Given the sheer eclectic nature of this album. It is so blistering in its experience that it leaves no time for you to really reflect on what you're hearing. And even the brief moments of clarity that you get are simply swept away by the onslaught of noise that comes after. This is one of those bands where you don't really have a genre to put them in, because even if you want to put them under the labeling of metal, what subgenre they belong to, I genuinely couldn't tell you. You could call them sludge and you'd have an argument. You could call them industrial and you'd have an argument. You could call them black shoegaze or whatever that genre is, and you'd be right, but none of them quite fit. And because of that, you could put like 10 subgenres on this album, and again, you'd be none the closer. Now, that's not to say that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that as like a, if you go listen to this album, or if you have listened to this album, I'm having the same issue as you have or will have. Um, but besides that, I fucking love this album. This album's insane. I like stuff that just sounds cuckoo banana balls, and this is that. When I was talking shit about Cancer Christ, this is kind of what I meant. This is the shit I was talking about. This is so, it's so in your face. There's no way for you to not hear it, to not think about it. But then also the lyrics aren't that clear. So when you're trying to think about it, you go, what the fuck is he saying? And I like that the album makes you think that. I like that the album genuinely, if you listen to the whole thing, you have to go back and read the lyrics, because you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then reading them, you're more confused. There's less clarity after reading them than there was before, and I do appreciate that, because this album's a lot. It feels like it's about a lot. There's sorry, let me breathe. There's some themes of Christian guilt, Christian humiliation, shame, obviously being a big one, but also familial trauma, intergenerational trauma, perhaps abuse, a lot of that. Um, of what variety, I couldn't tell you, and I don't really want to know at that point. Like, I don't know, coming blisters was a line that I just didn't want to read, and then I read it, and then I went, that's uncomfy. He says come a couple of times, like more than you would think for a band titled Meth. Um, but that being said, I just don't really have anything negative to say about this album. I feel like there could be more melodic aspects to it, but I don't think that's the sound the band has. I did listen to their 2019 release, and it was similarly eclectic, though I don't know if I liked it as much. Um, but yeah, no, this album is kind of all the things that I want from this kind of band, from a band that's setting out to be as abrasive and as noisy as possible. This does it in a very satisfying way, because the rhythm is always there, right? They never miss a beat. Each note is very precise, and yet the crafting of it makes it feel cumbersome. It makes you feel like you're really sinking into it, and I do like that a lot. I also like that some of these songs are long as fuck. There are two, I think, 8-minute songs in the album, and they don't feel unjustified being that length. Like, would I make Blackmail shorter purely because a minute long outro doesn't feel entirely right to me personally? Maybe, but even then, it feels purposeful, and it doesn't feel unnecessary. It feels like it could be shorter if they wanted it to be, but I think it gets the point across being so long and drawn out and just being the slams of instrumentation until the very end. I do think that's a fitting ending for the album. Um, yeah, no, nothing bad to say, other than, again, you could, I don't know, shave 30 seconds off the last song, but like that's such a nitpick that I don't even think it's worth bothering with. Good album, good album. I'd give it like a 7. It might grow or shrink on me throughout the year depending on if I actually come back to it, and given the fact that it's not even halfway through February, the odds of this are quite quite drastic. But no, I think that's it. I like this album. Again, I think it's a 7. I guess I have to review Kanye after this. Anyways, bye.